Did you know that self-love can actually boost your mental health? Studies show that practicing self-compassion can reduce anxiety and depression by up to 40%. Have you ever felt lost in your own darkness? That hollow feeling when you look in the mirror and barely recognize the person staring back at you? When the voice in your head becomes your worst enemy instead of your greatest ally? I have. And what I discovered on the other side of that darkness changed everything. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something deeply personal yet universally relatable, learning to love yourself, especially when it feels impossible. This isn't just another fluffy self-help video. What I'm about to share transformed my life from constant self-criticism to genuine self-compassion. The journey wasn't pretty, it was messy, painful, and at times seemed hopeless. But that's exactly why I need to share it with you. Because if you're struggling right now, feeling unworthy or broken, what I discovered might be the lifeline you've been searching for. And trust me, it's not what most people tell you about self-love. 3 years ago, my life looked perfect on paper. Great job, relationship, apartment in the city, all the boxes checked. But inside, I was crumbling. Each morning began with a mental inventory of my flaws. Each night ended with replaying my failures. I'd mastered the art of the fake smile while feeling completely hollow inside. The breaking point came after a particularly brutal panic attack in a grocery store. Surrounded by people yet feeling completely alone, I collapsed in the cereal aisle, unable to breathe, convinced I was dying. The paramedics told me it was anxiety, but it felt like my body was finally expressing what my mind had known for years. I couldn't continue hating myself and expect to live a full life. That day, I realized something had to change. Not my circumstances, but my relationship with myself. My journey to self-love wasn't a straight line. It wasn't about bubble baths and positive affirmations, though those have their place. It was about fundamentally changing how I spoke to myself. First came awareness. For 1 week, I tracked every self-critical thought. The results shocked me, over 50 negative thoughts about myself daily. You're not enough. Nobody really likes you. You're faking your way through life. These toxic mantras had become my background noise. So I tried something radical. I started treating myself like I would treat a best friend. When I made a mistake at work, instead of the usual "you're so stupid," I asked myself, what would I say if my friend did this? The answer was always kinder, it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. This doesn't define you. This simple shift felt awkward at first, even fake. But neuroscience backs this up. Our brains create pathways based on repetition. I was literally rewiring my neural connections. The second breakthrough came through boundaries. I realized I couldn't love myself while allowing others to treat me poorly. I started saying no to energy-draining commitments. I distanced myself from relationships where I felt smaller afterward. But the hardest part? Facing my shadows, the parts of myself I'd spent years running from. My jealousy. My fear of abandonment. My need for external validation. Instead of burying these traits deeper, I got curious about them. Where did they come from? What were they trying to protect me from? I discovered that beneath each negative trait was an unmet need crying out for attention. The pivotal moment didn't happen during meditation or therapy. It happened in my car, stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. Old me would have spiraled into self-hatred, "You're always late. You can't do anything right. They're all going to think you're unprofessional. But this time, something different happened. As those thoughts started, I physically put my hand on my heart and said aloud, "I see you're scared about making a bad impression. That's okay. Your worth isn't determined by this meeting." In that ordinary moment, tears streamed down my face. For the first time, I wasn't fighting against myself, I was standing with myself. The compassion I'd so freely given others, I was finally giving to me. That's when I realized, self-love isn't about becoming perfect. It's about embracing your humanity in all its messy glory. The changes that followed weren't immediate, but they were profound. Sleep improved as I stopped replaying the day's failures at night. Relationships deepened because I was no longer constantly seeking validation. Creativity flowed more freely because I wasn't paralyzed by fear of judgment. Most surprisingly, my capacity to love others expanded exponentially. When you're not constantly depleted by self-hatred, you have so much more to give. I still have bad days, we all do. But now, those days don't define me. They're just weather patterns passing through, not my permanent climate. Learning to love yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's the foundation everything else is built upon. And it's not about believing you're perfect, it's about knowing you're worthy exactly as you are, while still growing and evolving. The darkness that once felt like my enemy became my greatest teacher. It showed me parts of myself I needed to heal, not hide. Remember this, the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. When you learn to be your own best friend instead of your worst critic, everything shifts. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's one small way you could show yourself compassion today? Share in the comments below, your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more conversations about authentic personal growth. Until then, remember, you are worthy of your own love, especially in your darkest moments. That's when you need it most. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.